What's going on, guys? So we're back yet again, and we're going to be talking about another film. We're going to be talking about the new thriller on Netflix, Havoc, starring Tom Hardy. We got Timothy O'Flynn in here. We got Forrest Whitaker in here, and among many others in this film. This movie was crazy. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say this: if you have watched, I would say, your normal Netflix movie or your action thriller popcorn, movie, or kind of like the old school Jean Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal movies, those kind of movies, then I think you may enjoy this. And the reason why I say you may enjoy this is because it has a lot of that in here. So the entirety of this movie is you have Tom Hardy who plays Walker, who is a rogue cop. And it very early on, you get suspected that is he a dirty cop, which it does get confirmed because he runs with Timothy Olyphant's character Vincent, who they all, him and their crew, they're homicide detectives, and they did some work for, I would say, the upcoming governor of wherever this takes place at, Lawrence, and they did a lot of dirty work for him. And Walker, he wants out. He's just like, hey, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And the reason why he goes to him is because one, he blackmailed the DA to basically get Lawrence off. But when Tom Hardy's character comes across a homicide where Forrest Whitaker's son is involved in, that's when he tells him, "You need to get my son back." He's okay if I do this. I'm done. And what happens is he gets caught up in this huge gang war of basically the cops. He finds out later on the cops he was running with was the ones that took out the ones that Lawrence's son was dealing with, that they were going to try to make a deal with to get money off of him stealing some stuff, and the cops wanted it so they can make money off of it. And they messed with the wrong ones because they got involved with the triad, and Walker comes in and he has no choice but to take care of Lawrence's son, and at the same time try to, I would say, in some ways regain his honor as a cop, because he's worried about a friend of his that got hurt during this pursuit. He meets another officer by the name of Ellie, who she is a good cop. She's about, just your normal, rookie police officer trying to do the right thing. And she starts noticing that he's doing things not the normal way. And that's when she kind of figures out that he's not by the book kind of a cop. And throughout the duration of the film, you see where Tom Hardy's character is having to make a lot of tough decisions on, does he, reveal that he's done a lot of, crooked things by being a cop. And I'll say this, the way that they shot this movie, between the car chases, the action scenes, the environment, it almost, and especially during snow time, because they must have filmed this during Christmas, because this was insane, because it almost made me feel like I was in Gotham City. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But the way this movie made me feel was, it almost made you feel like you were in Gotham City. It was crazy, because just by the darkness, the trains, the edgy vibe to it, like, oh my gosh, who can I trust? That kind of thing. And I got to give credit to Tom Hardy. I think he really did good with this role. He really showed off not only his acting talent, he showed off his martial art background in this movie. He showed off of how he can be a leading man again in a movie, especially coming off Venom, coming off other things that he's done. And I think he did well with this role. I really do. And I also got to give credit to my boy Timothy Olyphant. I think he did a magnificent in this. Timothy Olyphant is a legend, playing on a good guy role and a bad guy role, and being able to go from playing, the badass, Marshall Raylan Givens on Justified to this character, you could see, and again, I'm gonna say this with Tom Hardy too. You could tell Tom Hardy was still doing a little bit of Eddie Brock in this. Same thing with Timothy Olyphant doing a little bit of Raylan with his gestures and the way that his face would go, like something very like he would do in Justified, because again, I'm a big fan of Justified, and it was still interesting to see him do some gestures that I think Raylan Givens would do, and I think he used a little bit of like that character of like what if he would go bad type thing, like if he went bad, would he act like this type thing, and I think it worked for both characters. I enjoyed this movie. I think this movie was a very good action thriller. There was some comical scenes in here as well, so I highly recommend this film to anyone that is a Tom Hardy fan, that is a Timothy Olyphant fan, that wants just a decent action movie to watch, not too hard to really look into, and just to enjoy, have fun, put on your living room or your bedroom or whatever, and just sit and relax, watch a cool movie, and not think about too much, and just enjoy yourselves, enjoy the car chases, enjoy the action scenes. Very well choreographed. There was a couple times I would say you can kind of see where they messed up with a little bit of the choreography, but it's not too bad. Again, I think they just left that in there because either it was a mistake or they just didn't care. I don't know, but overall, I did enjoy myself with this film. Was it a perfect film? No, but it was a good film. So let me know what you guys think about Havoc, about it down in the comments down below. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you thought. If you didn't, go check it out. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys as always on the next one.